Hello everyone, welcome back for another Star Trek The Official Starships Collection review. In front of me now I have issue number 78, the U.S.S. Voyager Aeroshuttle. Pretty much seen in every episode of Star Trek Voyager, and yet not seen at all. And before you here I have the magazine and the model, so I'll get the model out of the way, and then we can take a look at the magazine here. Alright. So, issue number 78, the U.S.S. Voyager Aeroshuttle. It is considered an auxiliary vessel, launched in 2369 with a crew of only 4, at least it could be anyway, with a maximum speed of warp 5, about as fast as the NX-01. Turn the page, the usual table of contents and how to mount your model to the stand, and a copyright information and website info. And on the right we have the specification, again considered an auxiliary vessel attached to the Starship Voyager NCC 74656 in the year 2369, same year as Voyager's launch, approximately 20 meters long, with a crew of 4, top speed warp 5, with phasers and 2 forward micro torpedo launchers. So that being said, we move on to the next portion. And there's a nice image of the Aeroshuttle there, which is about the same as the one on the cover almost. And you got a little picture of the warp drive there, and basic information about it. And here are some CGI renderings. Keep in mind these are not screen caps from any episodes, because again, this ship was pretty much seen in every episode of Star Trek Voyager. That is, every time the bottom of Voyager's saucer section was seen, but as far as the ship actually detaching and being in action, or even seeing the inside of it or anything, that has never been seen ever. And so, this is all CGI renderings of what it would have looked like had it actually been seen on screen for any type of action or whatnot. So this is talking about that and its basic hardware and software and all that. Turn the page and there's the specification slash centerfold slash diagram, however way you want to call it, showing you where the components are, etc., as well as some more extra trivia. Turn the page and here's the designing and building of the Aeroshuttle, which is a pretty nice and interesting section which talks about the various design phases this thing went through before it was finally decided on the design that you see before you. And here's a rather interesting design which looks almost Cardassian in nature for my taste, but cool enough, I guess. And there it is again. Now, the Aeroshuttle has been featured in the Star Trek Voyager comic books. These are the old Marvel comics that came out like a couple of decades ago, probably in the late 90s, because I have most of them. And the Aeroshuttle was used in the comics, so if you're really interested just for the heck of it, you can always check out the Star Trek Voyager comics, and most of them you can find in 99-cent bins or 50-cent bins and at comic shops and various other conventions and stuff like that. So we turn the page, and here's a section, or what I call magazine filler. The designing of Star Trek Voyager sets, which is very interesting and very detailed in terms of the artwork here, and more about that design process. And finally, the on-screen appearance page, which, as I mentioned, is pretty much in every episode of Star Trek Voyager. That is, anytime you've seen the bottom of the hull. And there it is right there. The outline of the ship is there. So that's what I mean by when I say it's been seen in every episode, but yet you've never seen it because it's never detached. And that's probably the only part you've seen, the bottom. And so, next up will be issue number 79, Harry Mudd's J-Class Starship, seen on the original series, the remastered version, that is. So, that pretty much rounds up the magazine. On the back, you got the ship there. So, I'll put that away. And then we'll get to the ship itself. Alright, there it is in the box. Looks pretty cool, if I may say so. Not bad for a model or a ship that has never been seen before. So let me get that out of the box. And the stand. Alrighty. So let's get right down to it. So, my first impression of this was it's pretty nice. Being that I don't know much about it, other than what I've read in the magazine, you know, I can't say it's like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing ever. But it's really cool to finally have a physical, tangible model of this thing, considering that it's a ship that we've never ever seen on screen. And obviously, since we've never had it on screen, we certainly never had a model of it until today. Until now, that is. It looks almost like a runabout, but not quite. But still cool, very 24th century, very late 24th century looking. So you got the cockpit area, which looks like the runabout, the Danube class runabout, but very different. You have your Starfleet pendant and symbols there, stripes, and of course you have Voyager's registry, U.S.S. Voyager. The NCC 74656 can be found on the bottom of the hull, which is kind of cool. The paneling looks nice. The coloring looks nice. And there's the registry number again. You know, it's got some clear stuff going on for the Bussard collectors there. And a little clear blue there on top of the warp nacelles, which is always a nice touch to see. And I'm guessing that's the warp core there. And you got your rear not rear cargo, but the rear compartment windows there. And the impulse engines are painted, which is a bit of a bummer, but that's okay. You can kind of see the separation parts of the actual model itself. That is, the parts that they use to put this thing together. And it has slight weight to it, but not much. The metal portion is the top, and the plastic portion is the bottom. Yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty nice model. Very glad to have that. I'm glad it was part of the collection to begin with. Like I said, especially for a ship that we've seen, but yet never seen. And you know, I just want to point out that we've been almost bombarded, or will be bombarded, with a lot of Federation Starfleet type ships in the next few months. I know my friends and colleagues in the UK and Ireland are a wee bit ahead of us, and they actually are already getting some of those ships. You know, a lot of the Earth Starfleet ships, you know, and some of the Wolf 359 ships are on the pipeline. The Enterprise J is in the pipeline, and they've already started getting those. And you know, so there's just a lot of Federation or Earth Starfleet ships coming up. So it's really kind of cool now. For a while, we kind of had a dry spell, almost. We got a lot of alien ships in between, at least for our pairings here in the States. And now we're finally getting into having a Federation ship in almost every other month. So that's actually kind of cool, or at least a Starfleet Earth ship every other month. So yeah, and of course it comes with the plastic stand and the base here, which simply on the bottom just says U.S.S. Voyager Aeroshuttle and a part number, I'm assuming. And you put it together kind of like this. This gadoolie goes in the hole right there, and the model goes smack right there, just like that. So there is the USS Voyager Aeroshuttle, seen in every episode, but not seen at all. Very nice model. If you're a fan of Star Trek Voyager, definitely pick this up. If you're a subscriber to the collection, then you will get it eventually, if you don't already have it. If you're just getting all the Starfleet / Federation / Earth ships, then I would definitely pick this up. And I would also pick this up just for the sheer fact that it's never been released in any form, and promises to be a fan favorite along the line at some point if it isn't already. So yeah, that's the Aeroshuttle. And next up, I'll show you Harry Mudd's ship from the original series remastered. And until then, live long and prosper. Live long and prosper, and I'll catch you guys later.